I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 620. Questioner, not this, not this. That is the teaching to the seeker. He is told that the self is supreme. How is it to be found? Maharshi, the self is said to be the hearer, thinker, knower, etc. But that is not all. It is also described as the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, etc. And by what means to know the knower? Questioner, but this does not say what the self is. Maharshi, not this, not this. Questioner, it only negates. Maharshi, silence. In this dialogue, the questioner is grappling with the nature of the self and how to recognize it. The reference to not this comes from the ancient teaching method known as neti, which means negating all that the self is not in order to know what it truly is. The questioner seems frustrated, feeling that this method only tells you what the self is not, without directly saying what the self is. Ramana Maharshi points out that the self is often described in ways that seem paradoxical. It is called the hearer, thinker, and knower, but those terms are still limiting. These labels suggest a subject, someone who hears, thinks, or knows. Yet the self is not confined to such roles. To express this deeper truth, Ramana quotes a traditional teaching. The self is the ear of the ear and the mind of the mind. These phrases indicate that the self is the source of awareness beyond all perception and thought. The ear hears, but what enables hearing itself? The mind thinks, but what allows thinking to occur? The self is that deeper presence, the very foundation that makes hearing, thinking, and knowing possible. It is this foundation that even makes the question of the seeker possible. The questioner struggles because this explanation still seems indirect. He asks, but this does not say what the self is. Ramana responds with silence, and this is significant. His silence isn't avoidance. It is the answer itself. The self is not something you can define, grasp, or express through words. Any description would reduce the self to an object. Yet the self is not an object. It is pure awareness, the very presence in which all thoughts, feelings, and perceptions arise. By remaining silent, Ramana demonstrates that the self is best recognized through direct experience rather than concepts. Silence allows the mind to quiet, creating space for inner recognition. When you stop chasing after definitions and simply rest in being aware, the truth of the self reveals itself. The practice of saying, not this, helps you discard false ideas about yourself, thoughts, emotions, and identities that are temporary and changing. Each time you let go of these, what remains is the unchanging awareness that is your true nature. Ramana Maharshi's silence points to this, that the self is not something you need to find, it's what remains when all else is set aside. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.